The shark made haste of devouring Bobby Ray Slack. It happened in a matter of moments. He was alive and well, and then gone. You could feel his soul be sucked from his body, as if that monstrous creature ate him alive, claimed his shipmate, Tony Hitchens. But as for Grace and her husband, Oliver, their fate wasn't so lucky. The fishing boat began coming apart. "It'll be okay," her delirious husband assured her. "We can use the wood of the boat to float back to the shore." Little did they know of the threats that thrived beneath them. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this story is about 3 people who were killed in cold blood by sharks. Sharks really just freak me out. It's been a long time since I've swam in the ocean, but after going over these stories, I don't know if I'll ever return to it. But before I get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel, as this is my second channel, Haunting Tales from the Iceman. So if you will, like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. So let's get into the story. Oliver Conger and his wife Grace were clinging to debris off the Oregon coast. Bobby Ray Slack was diving down under. All 3 were shark victims. Slack, 37, an American immigrant to Australia, was diving for abalone off South Bruny Island near Hobart, Tanzania, an Australian island state, when he was killed. Conger, 64, and his wife, 62, of Morro Bay, California, had been fishing. Somehow, their boat came apart. The Coast Guard says it doesn't know how it happened, but they've found no indication of a fire or explosion. Dr. William Brady, the Oregon medical examiner, said Conger lost most of his right arm to the sharks. Mrs. Conger's arms and legs were badly bitten. An autopsy showed that Conger died of drowning, his wife of the shark bites. Debris from the boat was recovered Wednesday by the Coast Guard from the same area as the bodies. A large shark attacked Slack with such violence that he was yanked out of his diving harness and devoured. His mate said Thursday, "Slack was a great bloke and didn't worry about sharks," said Tony Hitchens, 22. Hitchens said the attack Wednesday was all over in 5 seconds. The only trace of Slack was one green glove and hand net, officials said. Jeez. So that was a news article from 1975 from a newspaper. And here's actually a later posting in a newspaper as well from August 2 of 1975. The title of this article is "Conger Boat Capsize Laid to Possible Freak Wave." So there, I think, is more information about what could have happened in this article. The U.S. Coast Guard reported Friday that a freak wave early Wednesday may have capsized the 44-foot fishing boat operated by a California couple who later died in the Pacific Ocean from drowning and shark bites. The bodies of Oliver Conger, 64, and his wife, Grace, 62, were recovered Wednesday. The medical examiner said Conger died from drowning, but that Mrs. Conger died from several large shark bites inflicted by one or more fish with jaws 6 to 8 inches across. The investigation by the Coast Guard indicated the sharks involved were Pacific blue sharks, which sometimes reach a length of 12 to 12.5 feet. The blue sharks, a Coast Guard spokesman said, aren't known to attack people and are scavengers rather than hunters. Meanwhile, Dr. William G. Piercy, professor of oceanography at Oregon State University, said the shark or sharks that killed Mrs. Conger were quite likely excited and aroused by the smell of blood. Since the incident occurred 200 miles northwest of Astoria in the tuna grounds, Dr. Piercy suspects the blue shark as the villain. We've seen blue sharks in abundance in that area during summer months, and they're often attracted to the tuna, Piercy said. However, I have never seen an authenticated report of a blue shark of the Carcharodontidae family attacking a human being, he added. What seems more plausible is that the blues nibbled the dead body of Mr. Conger, causing blood to flow, and this caused the other blues to go into a frenzy, resulting in the larger bites of Mrs. Conger, he said. Piercy explained that the blue shark is a slower-moving shark, quite distinct from the great white shark depicted in the movie Jaws. The great white shark usually sticks to warmer waters. The great white shark is from the mackerel shark species, a fast-swimming and very dangerous man-eater. Piercy said a few great white sharks have been sighted in the Pacific Northwest in recent years. One was seen in Willapa Bay, Washington, in 1961. That same year, a great white was spotted on the east coast of the Queen Charlotte Islands in British Columbia, and again as far north as Craig, Alaska. But I'm confident these must have been blue sharks 200 miles northwest of Astoria. They are always well offshore in warmer water. They don't come into the beaches because the water, due to the upswelling phenomena, is much too cold for them, Dr. Piercy said. Dr. Brady agreed with Dr. Piercy's scenario. The bites on Mr. Conger, especially those on his arms, were like nibbles, a series of small, multiple bites, eating away the skin and some of the flesh. But some of the wounds on Mrs. Conger's legs were definitely large ones. These were bites, not nibbles. The evidence would certainly support the theory that the sharks that attacked her were definitely aroused and excited, Brady said. The Coast Guard reported that occupants of the fishing boats who found the Congers' bodies saw several 3 to 4 foot blue sharks circling around the bodies and nibbling at them. The theory of the freak wave developed after the Coast Guard considered whether the Congers' boat, the Whitecap, might have exploded or been rammed accidentally by another ship. An examination of debris ruled out those two possibilities. Jeez, what a crazy thing. What a horrific death these people had to experience. It seems like the lady was probably eaten alive, as much as it pains for me to say it. I don't know much about these blue sharks, but I'm on Quora.com right now, and this one guy who has a very liked comment says something pretty interesting. Blue sharks are considered to be potentially dangerous, but very little data exists to substantiate that. Urban myth has it that they were responsible for a number of incidents involving shipwreck victims in World War II. Yeah, I don't really know what these blue sharks are, but I'm gonna look more into it. This is just horrendous to read about these incidents, but I think it's actually kind of helpful because it gains perspective to those who are willing to look into it. And it makes us, I think, more appreciative of what we have. I would guess that this couple was just out there having a good day, wanting to catch some fish and enjoy themselves together. But little did they know that very day their lives would be taken from them. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this incident, and what do you think could be done to prevent it? And are you one who would swim in the ocean? Or do you currently swim in the ocean? And do you have a fear of sharks? Let me know in the comments below and like this video if you will, for more haunting tales from the Iceman.